also the edging around it. If this starts to break, or if it's one that you can wash and it's been washed a lot, this goes quite hard, and then that starts to split. If that catches on somebody's skin, that can cause quite a nasty skin tear. So again, that needs to be disposed of. It needs to be, you need a new one in. This one's got a headpiece, not all of them have got headpieces, some of them have got them, others haven't. They also need to be able to see the washing instructions and the working load on there. So this is a large sling. Okay, so over to you guys. If somebody sits in the chair. Now.
My turn. Who's that?
Who wants?
I want to sit.
Who's ever been up? Who's ever been in a hoist?
I haven't been. I've never been.
Yeah.
What did
He
you
said
feel
everyone knows it. Exactly.
Kilos of only Kuni inside us, only in us.
Yeah. Have you been in an oil before?
No.
And then we both said no. And then Mr. Obi was laughing. How can you be in a house before? When you're not.
Exactly.
It helps to get people in the hoist because it gives them a feeling
For training.
of what
I like that
it gives them
clarification.
that empathy
Yeah.
around what this feels like for that service user. So who wants to go in the hoist?
I want to go.
I want to go.
I'm sorry, George.
Oh, she don't go now.
Hey, who wants to hoist Mercy?
Me!
I want to ice that.
I want to drop her.
I bet you was here. At least no shit's coming.
I want to drop
Before me,
you.
No, I think I was not one no ice.
Come on, Jimmy.
Somebody is praying.
Chair
So transfer from
onto a bed, or you can hoist her off the bed onto the chair. Whichever.
both ways.
Okay. We have to
Taking your battery there.
Yeah, so if you get it on the bed, you've got to put the hoist underneath on the bed. Yeah, okay.
Go on there.
I like the bed
Don't
no.
forget she has got skirts on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've got me tight as well.
Yes, you have to put it outside.
Oh Lord. This bed is actually big, no? Strong.
It's actually
Good afternoon,
Mercy. Hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Oh, myself and
Elizabeth.
Betty, we're going to support you
Yeah.
and transfer you. You know you have been sleeping since last night.
Yeah.
So we want to take you to shower room. Today is shower day.
Okay.
And I know you love your shower.
Yeah, I like water. Water
Yeah.
so shower, we.
Some people, yeah. Once a week or twice a week.
Imagine the weather now.
Go away.
Are you?
So we are going to Friday.
Yes, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to put the sling in now. So we are going to.
Gonna go to the other side.
But there's a lot.
Right, bend it
Oh, no, social media.
Yeah.
in the house and put it in the chair. There we go.
Okay.
You know what I was watching for?
The flat hands, yeah.
Yes, that's what I was
Lovely
watching.
flat hands
Yeah.
there. Right. I'm going to
Actually, hold me.
Yes.
I'll actually show you the easy way to do it. So,
This is big.
That guy is fine.
Invested in it.
there.
He knows where the thing is going.
Why are you pinching me? Me.
Um,
Why are you pinching my leg?
yeah, so that when she comes over, it's there. Right, to me.
Sure. Don't they allow male to look after female?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my carers there who can look after female very well.
Yeah, just be careful she doesn't come off the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your feet. Your left feet.
Oh, you're calling.
So that one. Oh. And then
Okay.
hands ready. 1, 2, 3.
What is this scary?
No, it's because the bed is half single.
Okay, you don't have enough. Let's do it again. Do we have enough?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Experience.
Okay.
Right, is
What
it?
a girl, very large viewers.
Okay. Now,
Sorry.
with the leg pieces as well, when you tuck those leg pieces underneath, make sure it's flat against their legs.
Okay.
Because if this rolls over and then you start to bring them up,
It's going to
it's
bend.
going to dig in their leg and that's going to be really uncomfortable.
Sorry.
That's it. Are we doing
Right.
crossover? Just that one come there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Number.
Now, some of your slings will have what's called a dignity strap on them. So there will either be a little loop in there that you can cross through, or on the leg piece. This one hasn't because it's just got a single use. So cross
Okay,
down
cross.
like
No,
that.
no.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're going from lying to sitting, short for shoulders, long for legs.
Short for shoulder, long for leg.
Yeah. So
That's what it called. Short for shoulder.
On
Because
your
the shoulder is shorter than the
leg
legs anyway.
SS.
we've got the grey one, we've got a yellow one, and we've got a blue one. So if you're going short for shoulders, long for legs, that will bring them into a much easier seating position. Go with the blue one.
Okay.
Don't use this one because if that snaps, they're going on the floor. If you're using these and they snap, you've got the next one. They're only falling as far as the next one. If that snaps, they're on the floor. Yeah? So we can't do it on this one, but if you've got profile in bed, then you can bring your bed down and you hoist up. You might need to move your hoist up a little bit more just to get those top bits on.
Stretch the leg of yours.
Excuse me. I don't want to use
Yeah,
this
so
one.
bring it down a bit.
It's because of the bed.
Which one?
Yeah, I would
Use the grey.
actually
Yeah.
go on the blue one with this because otherwise if you try and pull it onto the yellow one,
It's too tight.
it's, you're going to feel quite restricted and you're going to feel uncomfortable with
Blue,
it.
blue.
We've got blue, blue.
Blue, blue.
Right.
Baba. Have you done my leg?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Off.
one of you is dealing with the hoist, the other one is there for reassurance, communication with your client and guiding.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, we're going up now, yeah?
Miss Mercy, we are going to lift you up now.
Okay,
Wow.
now, just stop
You are
there
in
a
the
minute.
safe hands.
Just stop there a minute. Just double check each other's work.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not using the same. You're using the same color. For instance, shut up on the shoulder.
It's because yellow will be too much.
Yeah.
As close as.
It was the small one. It was.
Okay, are you both on blue, blue?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are both on blue, blue.
It's not gonna sit.
Okay, yeah. So, double check each other's work to
Yeah.
make sure they're both on the same.
Page.
Please help us bring the chair closer. Is it?
How's that feel?
I can see why old people doesn't like it.
It's a very strange
That's why
feeling, isn't it?
I know why you have to be explaining the process to
Are
them.
you?
Yeah, honestly, because
Also, what goes on there?
that the yes.
That's nice.
Maybe we should lower the bed or
Yeah, we would lower the bed.
Yeah, we
That's
can't. We
not
can't.
take the
Like,
Are you sure?
She's gonna
Should we go to bed?
The moment she's on the bed.
No, it's not the bed.
No, this is the IS.
yeah, it's because
So
that
drag me
bed,
out.
that bed's
That means we need to put the bed down.
He's ask me to hold my hand on this one.
Now, don't let your clients hold on to this bar.
Okay.
Yeah, because they can hold on to here if they're scared,
Yes.
but don't let them hold on to that bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope you don't laugh. Are you sure you're not me?
Honestly, this is the IS. You have
I
to
don't
get
know.
off the bed.
That's that.
Stand up.
Yeah, it's just that it's because that
Why
bed.
do you have to stand up?
Yeah, we need to lower the bed.
No, yeah, the bed, you can't view what the bed like.
Okay.
No, I think we
So if you were using a profiling bed,
Yeah.
bring that bed down.
Yeah, man, we
Yeah.
put the bed down.
You sure you don't reach?
No, it's true. This is why
Down
we
below.
laugh. No, honestly, I actually experienced why older
People
people,
don't like them.
they don't like the hoist, and then why we have to explain
Yeah.
what we're doing to them.
Please put your head back.
Okay, I am.
This one doesn't have.
That's it.
Oh my
My
God.
body is at the edge of the bed.
Your bum is not on here. Okay.
Ready?
Oh, there's no. This one doesn't
You
have.
be a sandwich, huh? That was just the punch.
Now, this
You
one
didn't
hasn't
have
got
life.
handles on the
Handles,
back of it.
yes.
But
She be punishing her. That's why I'm guiding the bed.
that's not such a bad thing, because what people tend to do if there's handles on them is they grab them and they pull them back.
Oh yeah.
They're not there to pull them back. Those handles are there just to guide them down.
Oh, not to put on towards you.
Because if you pull those handles back, if you're stood behind that chair and you pull those handles back, remember what we said this morning about pushing and pulling? You're pulling. And you're taking that natural alignment out of your spine, so you're putting the pressure on your spine.
So we are going to remove the.
How did that feel?
I feel scared.
And you've got your
Yeah.
whereabouts.
Yeah.
So you imagine if you're somebody that's got dementia, or you've got some other form
Honestly.
of cognitive decline, how scary that can be. When you're
It is.
actually
My
taking
nerves
that
were
sling
like-
off as well,
Just.
don't overcrowd. So don't both go in at the same time to pull those leg pieces off. Do it one at a time. Yeah? Okay, so take the sling off.
Okay. So is there any you been 5 points before?
Training.
What kind of dress do you like to wear today, Miss Nancy?
Trouser.
I know you like the color. Yeah?
Wow, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy, no. Now I know why now.
Now, depending on the size of that person and that sling,
Yeah.
will depend on what
Color.
you're going to put, what colour loop you're going to put on.
Yeah, but the OT is supposed to tell us, isn't it?
If you put me, well, when they've assessed, the OT should be telling you what colour loops that
They
they
never
need to
do that.
put on, because they've assessed that sling.
Yeah. They never do that. It's
Now,
not we now decide and ask the person whether
Okay,
to do
different people, different color. From the look
If
and
you-
color.
if you were putting me in this, it would be dangerous, because I would probably fall through it. Because this would be too big for
Big
me.
for you.
I actually only fit in a small sling, but I'm only about 5 foot.
Like the one they go for Betty.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they bring it beyond the sheet.
shorter shoulders, long for legs when you're going from lying to sitting.
And going back to bed.
No,
Now.
we use that.
Anything machine.
Use those two don't use that one.
Okay.
Yeah. When you were going back to lying down, then you can go on longer and longer because it takes them back to that lying position. If you've got, we can't do it with this, but if you've got a profiling bed, use the piece of equipment that you've got there. Because with your profiling bed, you can bring the top half up to bring them into that right position. If you've got somebody that slides down the bed, then bring the top half up and raise the legs up. So you've got that dip and it stops them from sliding back down the bed once you've got them in the right position. So using that equipment that you've already got, and so that you're not moving
I think the main
around
thing
too
is better
much.
the OT shows us. So we know we are doing the right thing.
Also, that communication.
Oh,
I have
right,
actually done really cruel things in the past, like blindfolded people and put them in the hoist. And I've not told them what we're going to do to them. Mercy, if we blindfolded you then,
I
and
know
not
that would be
spoke
worse.
to you, how would you have felt?
That would be worse.
It would have been really quite scary. You think that communication is a big part of what you do. So communicating with that person, telling them what you're doing, gaining that consent before you start. If somebody starts to get quite anxious and upset, bring them back down again. Calm, settle them down before you start to try and move them again. The lady that did my original Train the Trainer, she was telling us that she'd actually had a brain tumour. She said the worst part of her treatment was when she had to be hoisted. She was in a side room, she had the operation done, it was a successful operation, but she had to learn to talk, walk, feed herself, everything all over again. She said she was in a side ward, just in her own room. One Monday morning, 2 nurses came into that ward and they got to help her to get washed, dressed and transfer her using the hoist into the chair. They both had the weekend off and they stood either side of the bed talking over the top of it, talking to each other about what they'd done over the weekend.
Wow.
Even if that person can't speak to you, you can still hear every word you're saying. Involve them in the conversation. Now, you may have done something over the weekend that they've loved doing previously. You know, you can talk to them about, oh, this is where I've been this weekend. That used to be your favourite place, hadn't it? And get them involved with that conversation. But don't talk to people over the top of them. There are 3 people in that room. Whether you've got them in a hoist, whether you're on a slide sheet, whether you're turning them, involve that person. Even if they can't communicate back to you, still talk to them. Still tell them what you're doing. Talk them through that process. She said all she wanted to do was go, excuse me, I'm down here. She said, but she couldn't actually verbally communicate with them. So she couldn't say anything to them, but she could hear every word that they were saying. And it was just like, they weren't interested in her being there. They were just moving her around and washing her and no communication with her whatsoever. She said it was horrible. So think about that communication, the importance of that communication. Talk to that person. If they are scared, that will give them that much more reassurance. You can talk them through the process, they know what you're going to be doing. Don't just go in there and just go and do it. Okay, any questions about anything that we've covered? Happy with everything we've covered today?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. So, back again with you next Thursday. So next Thursday we will do safeguarding. We will cover adults and children.
Good. It's good.
And then Friday morning we will do the basic life support, and in the afternoon we'll be down to you guys. That's where I can give my voice a rest and sit and watch it, and you can be stood out here.
I like banana.
I love banana. I saw you eating banana with rice yesterday. Typical English girl from